Good morning, Sarah.
Good morning.
Good morning. Just grabbing my so 1 second. Just grabbing my information here and my sweater. Hold on. Okay. We'll give people a few minutes to get in. Oh,
My
just running
apologies,
late.
Sherry. I had two devices on, so when the other one doing it booted me out.
No problem. I'm going to make you co.
Co-host? Awesome.
Yep. Let me do that
Hi,
now.
Eloise.
Hi. Hey, both of you.
Good morning,
How
Eloise.
are you?
Oh my gosh, how are you, beautiful?
Doing good, doing good.
You look great.
She looks
Thank you. So do
amazing.
you both. Yeah, I'm enjoying life in North Carolina.
Oh wow, you moved there?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I'm coming to visit.
Come on down. We in Charlotte. Charlotte is beautiful.
Oh, we go through Charlotte all the time because we go to Hilton Head. So sometimes when we drive, we'll that's the stopover.
Yep, we have a lot of friends that stop over on their way to Hilton Head, and we would
Yeah.
love to see you.
When did you move there, honey?
It's been it was a year in August. Our daughter moved down here with her boyfriend, and after about a year, had our grandbaby. And so I
Oh,
had retired, and Charles was already retired, and we were coming back and forth a lot, and we looked at each other and we said, you know what, we could do this.
and it's only a 2 hour ride to I mean flight to Philly.
Flight,
So
yeah, it's not
yeah,
far flight at all. It's about
yeah.
an 8 hour drive.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
it's about 8 hour drive because we do it every so often, every 2, 3 months to go to a big
Hmm.
event out there. Drive through Virginia. Virginia is like the bulk of the trip, like 5 hours in
That's right.
Virginia.
Yeah, Virginia
Virginia's
is.
long.
In fact,
Yes, it
St.
is.
Petersburg, Virginia is halfway.
Mm-hmm.
So we always stop over when we drive. We always stop over in Petersburg. But I love it. It's so close to Atlanta and just close to a lot of good things. And it's city enough for us to feel comfortable, but it is definitely quieter.
Oh my gosh, yes. And your sister, she's doing well?
She's amazing. She rang the bell
I saw that.
2 weeks ago. So she is,
What?
in fact, she went on a work trip overnight this week.
Okay, because I did see her ring the bell and I was just like so happy and yeah, you know
I'm
how I feel
telling you,
about
that was a praise God because that wasn't the way they told us that was going to go down.
I know.
well,
I'm glad to hear that report because this is like a transformation.
yes,
Yes,
Lord.
yeah.
yes. Well, we're happy and I hope to see her at this year's tea. Or
Oh,
well,
I
next
think you will.
year's. Wonderful. Okay, ladies. Well, people are starting to flock in. Um, so I am gonna I feel like you know how you feel like you need a pen in your hand, but you're not going to write anything. But we're going to jump in and get started. Okay. So, good morning, ladies. Welcome to our Woman Up Initiatives Kitchen Cabinet Hangout. I like to call it a hangout because in the mornings, we just hang out with our coffee. But I love to hang out with some of our Woman Up Initiatives members, our guests. And this is our sacred space for learning, sharing, building, and elevating one another. So today we are honored to welcome Sarah Jordan, an
Hello.
independent financial advisor. Hi, Sarah. And she's with Prime America, and they specialize in helping individuals and families create real, achievable financial freedom. So Sarah and I met about 2 years ago, and she's just amazing. And we wanted to make sure that all the ladies have the opportunity to meet Sarah and learn from Sarah, because I'm learning something every time I talk to her. I learn something. So, Sarah, welcome to the Kitchen Cabinet Hangout.
Hi, everyone. I'm going to announce a couple of my girls that are on there. Fawn Martin from NCW, and also my friend Tamara out all the way out in Las Vegas. Thanks for joining the team.
Oh, thank you, thank you, thank you. And so, usually, what we do is jump in right with our guest speaker, and then we have our attendees tell us who they are and where they're from, and a quick 30-second elevator pitch on what your business is. Because, again, we want to know who you are and why you're here this morning. So, let me just start. We'll start with that. My name is Sherry Williams, and I am with Sherry Williams Enterprises, and we have the Woman Up Initiatives. Um, we do the tea every year. We have a membership, a circle, a friendship, and what we do is network with each other, connect with each other, and build with each other. And so I'm so happy that you're all here today. I'm not going to go into all the other thousands of things that I do right now, because that I would just take up all the time. All the time, but I am super excited that you guys are here. So I'm going to go to the right of my screen, and Tammy, if you want to introduce yourself, please introduce yourself.
Good morning, ladies.
Good
So
morning.
I I am Sherry's little sister. Um so my business is called Sperry Wild Boutique, and I'm so happy to be here. This is, I think, what, my third or fourth time jumping on, and I just love this kitchen cabinet. I love meeting all you guys and learning new things and hearing about what everybody is doing. So basically, what I do, I'm gonna make it short and sweet for those who don't know. I make all kinds of custom items. I'm a bag artist. I make bags from scratch. Any type of bag you can think of: handbags, shoulder bags, tote bags, wallets. I use recycled materials, mostly denim. I use designer bags, all kinds of things to bring, old stuff to life. So that's what I do. I just did a new hat drop. If you guys want to see some pictures at the end, I will drop some pictures. And that's basically what I do, making all things
Well,
beautiful.
thank you, Sissy. And you can just drop that stuff right on into the chat, because we are not too formal here. We are hanging out. And so the next person I see on my screen is Fawn Martin. Fawn, you want to introduce yourself?
Okay. Hi, my name is Fawn. I apologize. Hopefully, I don't break up. I'm driving. My name is Fawn. I'm was invited by Sarah. I'm a member of NCBW. I work for a credit union. I'm their chief administrative officer for First Harvest Credit Union, located in Deptford, New Jersey. And I'm looking forward to hearing today's session. I do apologize. I need to drop off around 10 minutes to 10 because I have a prior commitment, but I look forward to yeah, participating today. Thank you.
Well, thank you, Fawn. Listen, us ladies, we're always driving, we're always moving, we're always shaking. So it's all good. Just listen in and jump in as you can, but be safe most of all on the highway. And then I see Eloise Young, my favorite person in the whole wide world.
Hello, I'm Eloise Young. I am blissfully retired. I worked with Sarah for several years, and I found in my retirement that I spend a lot of time supporting and helping a number of small Black businesses. I'm very passionate about supporting Black businesses. So, Tammy, I wrote down the information about your hats and bags, and I'm here to learn from Sarah.
Oh, awesome. And Eloise and I did some work together as well.
Thank you so
I
much.
just miss you. You just always kept it real and made sure that whatever we were doing was elevated. So I just appreciate you and your days at the gas company. Okay. And now I see Eunice Kid. Okay. Tell us about yourself. You're on mute.
Hi, Eunice.
Yeah, she's still on mute. Okay, she's looking for the unmute button. We all do that. All right. Well, while she's looking for the unmute button, again, I thought I saw Joy pop on. Joy Norman. She may be driving as well. Okay. All right. Well, we'll come back to Mrs. Kidd, but Sarah, you are the star of the show this morning. And let me just tell you a little bit about Sarah. Sarah has a gift for breaking down complex financial concepts into clear, actionable steps. She brings not only expertise, but passion, a genuine commitment to empowering women to take control of their money, protect their families, and build long term wealth. And we all want that. So I am super excited. Sarah and I have been talking about different things, financial things over the last few years. And I just thought it was perfect for her to participate in our Woman Up series here because, again, she's come to the T. She knows all about all the fun things, but we have to get down to business. And sometimes this is the business, the financial portion of what we want to accomplish is the business. So this morning she'll guide us through strategies to strengthen our financials, eliminate debt, increase savings, build generational wealth. Don't you love when I say that? Generational wealth. Yes, yes, yes. And explore the business opportunities available within the financial industry. So, ladies, this is your space. You can ask questions, you can take notes, and be open because at the end of the day, we're all trying to learn from each other. And that is what Woman Up Initiatives is all about. You are part of the network, or you can become part of the network. And we really try to network and collaborate with everyone. So, Sarah, welcome to the show. Again, you have the floor. I have questions for you. But I want you to tell us a little bit about yourself, and then we'll jump right into the questions.
Welcome, ladies. Thanks again, Tammy, for allowing me the space to come in and share some information and just to network, right? I'm really like Eloise, I'm passionate about us as women, specifically in our Black community. I find that we're a little bit behind the eight ball in certain things when it comes to finances. So my job or my goal is to not just elevate the space, but provide that information that allows us to grow and catch up and surpass. I've known Eloise for a long time. We worked together at PGW, one of some of my best work years. I met Sherry with the Tea Initiative, and I've been hooked ever since. I currently work for Exelon, but Primerica is my passion. It allows me to not only learn things that were not taught in the classroom, but to take advantage of things that typically are not commonplace knowledge. Our goal is to become financially independent, debt free, but to properly protect families. I was blown away every day when I learned something new in the business, and it's not stuff that is commonly shared with our community. So my goal is to evangelize that, show us how to treat money, how to make money, how to protect it, and how to get back on board with what other communities are doing, because we are so much more capable. So I'm happy for this forum. Thanks for sharing the space with me, Sherry, and I look forward to the questions.
Oh, that's so awesome. I look forward to it as well. And so I saw Joy pop on. Joy, you want to introduce yourself quickly?
Yes. I was good morning everyone. I was doing a drop off at the airport and then I ran in the house, logged on and went to the restroom and then Sherry introduced me. So I I said, always happens, right? Always. But I'm Joy Norman. Good morning, ladies. How's everybody doing? I am I work for Sherry Williams Enterprises as Director of Operations, and I also work for State Senator Anthony Williams as his Director of Operations as well. So thank you, ladies, for joining us this morning. Sarah, I am so excited to hear what you have to share with us today.
Okay, and I'm gonna go. Thank you, Joy. I'm gonna go back to
Eunice.
Eunice. Okay, I just don't want to pronounce her name wrong. Eunice, just
Eunice,
introduce
can you hear
yourself.
me?
I think you're off mute now.
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, okay, good. My name is pronounced Eunice. They call me Nisi.
Oh, Eunice. I love that. Okay.
Okay. Nice to meet everybody. My name is Eunice, and I worked for Rico USA for 24 years, and I recently got laid off. So I was a buyer, and I live in New Jersey. I don't know what else I should say.
Okay. Recently laid off, live in New Jersey. So you're here to gain knowledge and information
Yes.
and network with all of us and see how we can all help you.
Yes.
All right. Okay. So thank you, ladies, for joining us again. I'm super excited. I'm always excited. So my first question to Sarah is, what are the most important first steps someone should take when starting their journey to financial freedom, no matter their income level?
Well, financial freedom is the key. I like those words. The first steps are the same for whether you're making $30,000 or $300,000, right? First, we got to get started. What does that mean to you? So you need to have a clear picture of your financial reality. Because sometimes we're not in reality. We're a little jaded. We have the money, it's coming in, it's going out, but we can't tell, we can't do a balance, we can't scale. We just know it's coming. It's just like rote memory, right? But we're not assessing what our realities are. So you got to know your numbers, your income, expenses, your debts and assets. You can't change what you cannot measure. So knowing our reality is the first steps. Now, some examples of assets are income, cash, real estate, investments, accounts, stocks, bonds, other securities, 401k. They all sound familiar. Some of us have them, some of us don't. Some of us talk about them. And if we have them, we don't know what it does, right? But these are some examples of assets. Now, here comes the thing. We are loaded with liabilities. Liabilities are things like loans, mortgages, student loans, credit card, living expenses. Those are liabilities. So we need to build a financial defense before the offense. We start by at least saving an emergency fund, as little as $1,000. You start somewhere. Start with $50. Because I'm telling you, you are either 90 days away from wealth or 90 days away from poverty. It just takes one life incident to see what side of the fence you're on. So start saving, for an emergency event. $1,000 for starters. And then the next important thing is a 3 month savings as you grow. Now, I say 3 months because we saw what happened in the COVID years. Folks were at risk of being dehoused or unhoused when the country was on lockdown. 3 months, and the banks were getting ready to lay off people till the government stepped in because they weren't getting incomes, but they didn't care about us, right? So having a 3 to 6 month window, 90-day savings to float us for if and when the emergency happens is a good start. So you start by saving start a starter fund and 3 month savings as you go. This protects you from using credit cards for emergencies. The next thing we say is eliminate high interest debt strategically. Credit card debts, etc. Find a way to consolidate or at least start decreasing. Those are the first things you take off because you find that you're paying, let's say, a mortgage. Based on the rate, you may be paying 10 years and not nipping into the actual cost of the house. You're just paying interest. So understanding what those rates are and start eliminating those high interest debts strategically. Start with those first. You focus on the most important debt, reduce interest costs, and free up cash flow for investing. You pay yourself first. Treating investing like a bill. Treat investing like a bill. Those are some very powerful words, right? That is a must, right? Don't leave it up to yourself. Do it as it is imperative, like your life depends on it. Even small amounts could compound over time. So you pay yourself first and treat investing like a bill. You want to protect your income. Insurance is wealth too. It's not an expense. Income protection keeps your goals on track if it happens, right? So, first step will be to increase your income, decrease your liabilities. The goals to have assets, the goal is to have more assets than liabilities, right? And that's basically the key things. You pay yourself first, you eliminate high interest rate loans and debts. You start with an emergency fund. Doesn't matter if you're making millions or you're making 50,000, 30,000. You have to start saving. And that's the key thing.
Oh, I love that. So what I heard here, and I'm writing my notes. I have assets, liabilities, emergency fund savings, 3 month savings as you grow, credit card debt, eliminate that altogether, free up cash so you have some cash flow, and treat investing like a bill. And insurance is wealth. So I
Pay
know a lot
yourself.
of who
And
has a
she
question?
said,
I know somebody has a question.
no, and she said, and pay yourself.
And oh, you know what, Joy, you made a point of that because Joy and I work together with Sherry Williams Enterprises, and I've had this business for 14 years, but sometimes I don't pay myself first. I want to make sure that my contractors are paid, and Joy keeps the books, and she's always like, you got to take your money as well. And so I have been doing that, and it's made a big difference in my business because now I just know that this is what I'm going to make just like everyone else, and I'm going to still have enough to pay the bills and everything else with the contractors. So thank you, Joy, because that was one of the things that I wasn't really doing for myself. And if you're in business to make money, but you're in business to make money for yourself as well. And so I had to be reminded that that was one thing that I was not doing properly. So thank you, Joy. My second question to Sarah is, can you break down Prime America's approach to helping families eliminate debt and build long-term wealth? And how does that differ from traditional financial planning?
Well, Primerica's approach is based on financial education and empowerment, not product first planning. And that's the thing that kind of sold me on this because the education that we get every day, because it's a lot, I'm amazed that I have never heard some of these principles before to take advantage of it because to know is to do, right? So we learn how money works and how to manage money, save and grow your money. That's the things we focus on. Primerica's approach is wealth building. When you hear the story of our founder, based on his lived experience, it is the inherent part of why we were created in the first place. His focus is on middle America based on what happened to him as parents. So his focus is on wealth building. We teach families exactly how money works instead of speaking in jargon. So it's going to be simple. Even though the concepts may be complex, we break it down so you truly understand, you know, what is happening to your money. We eliminate debt using a systematic and accelerated strategy, not minimum payments. Because when you think about banks and you think about credit cards, they're businesses unto themselves. So whatever strategy or whatever they tell you, basically is for their empowerment, not for ours. We are the collateral damage for their business. Unless you're a shareholder, you own the business, it is not really good for you. So we have to keep that in the back of our minds. But because our focus is on middle America, we're a company within a company, the advantages is on us, right? It's for us with Primerica. That's how we started. So we have eliminated debt using a systematic and accelerated strategy, not minimum payments. We recommend term life insurance and invest the difference. So families build real assets instead of buying expensive cash value policies. We offer a step-by-step financial roadmap, not a one-time sales transaction. You find folks that are in the sales world, it's commission, it's their business. I'm not trying to compete, put a negative spin, but you have to look at who's speaking to and where their purpose is. Because if you're not at the center of why of what they're telling you, then maybe you're listening to the wrong person. We focus on you, right? We offer a step-by-step financial roadmap, not a one-time sales transaction, because this is a lifestyle, it's a habit, right? When you're looking and you're protecting your money, it's not a one-time thing. It's like I say, it's a lifestyle. It's a paradigm shift. How it differs from traditional planning. Traditional firms often lead to asset management, fees, and minimum account sizes. Primerica opposite focuses on middle income families. Like I said, that's the why we were founded, to protect middle America and show us how to gain wealth, showing them how to reduce debt, invest consistently, and protect their income, not the company's income, the family's income, so anyone can build wealth. The simple mission is to buy term and invest the difference. And that's how we were started, right? Focusing on your real assets, what it means to you, not a one-time sales transaction, and change the lifestyle of how people treat and manage their money.
Oh wow, this should be a when we do a workshop series, you're going to be the first one in because it's a lot of information. So I heard education, wealth building, term life insurance, I put wills and trust because I that's something that I'm working on. Invest consistently, buy term plus invest the difference.
Yep.
Did I miss anything, Joy?
I like the tag team. Joy, did you get it?
But what I'm trying to make sure I do is I'm working on, like, I have a full-time job and I have a full-time business, and I have I don't want to say limited insurance, but the insurance leaves if you separate from the company, the life insurance. So I have a standard $40,000 policy, and Sarah and I have been talking, and we'll be setting up some time for me to look at other opportunities to get policies on, myself, my husband, my daughters, my grandson. And so, as I approached 60 this year, because I just turned 60 September the 5th. I know it's a whole different ball game. It's a whole different club.
And you gotta give me some of what you're drinking. Can't tell.
Okay, I can tell you that later. But but at the end of the day, I treat money a little bit differently. I'm constantly saying I can't do it. I have to pay off this credit card bill. And when that interest rate comes in, and you see all your money going out the door and you don't see the balance going down, you just see it going up, you start to panic because you're like, oh, my money is going off on these credit card bills. And then you look around to say, what did you purchase? And some of it you can see, but some of it you cannot see. Maybe you took an expensive trip, and of course you have the experience from the trip, but you don't have something tangible in your hand. Maybe you bought a keychain or something you can remember it by putting it on your refrigerator, a magnet. I don't know. But at the end of the day, I started to pay off my credit card bills. Now, this is my third time paying off my credit card bills because, I just said I was 60. So in my 20s, I ran up those bills and paid them off. And in my 30s and 40s, I did it again. And then this last round was more on things that were related to my house. And, some things you needed to charge for the home and to improve your home. And I did that. And now I'm like, I want to make this announcement. I just paid off my last major credit card bill yesterday.
Woo-hoo. Yeah. Good job. Step in the right direction.
Yes. But now that did deplete some of my business savings. But I feel like I'm okay with that because I can build that back up. I don't have to worry about this 29% or whatever it is percent that I was paying because it was an awful lot of money. And I wanted to get rid of that $8,000, and I did. So I'm very happy about that. But it did take a long time for me to get to that point. And I will never, ever, ever go into credit card debt ever again in life. Not now, not never, ever. So I'm super excited about that. So Sarah, I want to ask, what strategies do you recommend for women, especially entrepreneurs like ourselves and career professionals who want to protect their income and build generational wealth at this point in time, whatever level you're on? I still keep I don't want to call it a piggy bank, but I still keep a water jug those big jugs that, you know, you have the water in. I throw money, I throw change in that. All my change goes in that. Every time I empty a handbag, I throw that change right in there. So what do you recommend for us ladies, something that we can do to, what strategies should we be using?
Well, I like the fact that you're throwing change in a bottle. I do the same thing. It's not being spent, but it's really not getting any interest either. So we gotta work on moving it out of the bottles into something that's going to help it grow. But trust me, I do. I still have a jug right in here. It's a vase. Women face unique wealth hurdles, pay gaps, like you mentioned, career breaks, and often being the financial backbone of families. So here's the approach I recommend. Build a personal financial ecosystem. Well, what does that mean? Not just a business plan, an ownership plan. Separate your business finances and establish retirement accounts and create automatic investment. So, like I said, that bottle is nice. I do it, but we got to put it in something that's going to grow. So it's not $59, it's going to be $200. So save it and then put it somewhere that's going to create some interest, right? Protect income at every stage. We recommend getting a term life insurance. Start with that first. Our businesses that we work within your budget, so just know that you're going to get something. The other thing is disability income protection. Life happens. So we want folks to protect themselves in the process, because you find yourself, like Sherry, you were saying, I was paying everybody else and not paying myself. We put ourselves last. We got to put ourselves first here. We can't put a strategy together if we're the last end and everybody's making money, getting protected. What about us? So self-protection, self-preservation, self-care, it starts with us first, right? So put these things in place. And a business continuation strategy. So for you started, you paid off your bills and so on, and you put certain plans in place so that the business continues regardless of what happens to us. Right. The other thing is women are often protectors. So protecting your earning potential is step number one. Invest with ownership in mind. Focus on assets that grow. So we want to put things in place like a 401k, Roth IRA. You know, if you're a business, Sherry, a solo 401k for entrepreneurs, because sometimes we have businesses, it's growing, but we're not protected it in the true sense of the word so that it can survive. So we say focus on assets that grow and compound. Roth IRAs or traditional IRAs, a solo 401k for an entrepreneur, and long-term investment account. The other thing is build wealth that outlives you. That outlives you. Because some of us are moms. I heard grandchildren mentioned, et cetera, et cetera. Let's put something in place that they don't have the same struggles that you have, or they could, even if you weren't struggling, they could have a better life. So they have more options. And that's part of the reasons why I do this business, right? So you build a wealth that outlives you. Generational wealth requires a strategy like beneficiary planning. You talked about um, asset planning. What was the word you used? Estate planning, sorry. Education savings plan, teaching financial literacy to children. All that encompasses protecting ourselves and coming up with a strategy. So it's not only living with us, but we're making a path forward for the ones to follow.
Okay, wow. This is just a lot of information that I am loving right now. So I heard build a personal ecosystem, retirement account, save the money in it, and then move it to another place.
Something that grows and compounds, yes. Because our money's in the jar, it's doing nothing, right? It's there. But $10 could easily be $100, right? So we gotta take, that's how making money work for you. Because we're working for the money, but come on now, the money has to work for us. So when it's compounding and it's growing, it's gaining interest, that is the money now working on our behalf. Because as employees, that's what we do. We trade our dollars for hours. We trade our dollars for hours. So when we punch the clock on a Friday, that income potential goes down to zero. Because on the weekend, you're shopping, you're not earning money, you're not trading your hours on the job. But our monies can do that if it's invested. As long as the clock is ticking, that money is growing. So why are we keeping it at home? We put it in something so that the clock is working in our favor.
Okay, yes. Term life insurance, we can get into that a little bit. Disability income protection, you spoke about that a little bit. Self-preservation and self-care.
Yep,
Financial freedom is self-care. Self-care is financial freedom. If you're
correct.
not, I mean, I'm not saying that you should not go and get that massage and go and get that facial, because that's self-care. But
Absolutely.
want to have the money to be able to do that and not feel guilty about doing it. Like, do I need groceries or do I need to get this facial? I mean, how about you need both, right? So I want to be in a position to have both, or always have both. Invest with ownership in mind. 401ks, Roth IRAs, wealth that outlives me, so that I can leave something to my daughters and my 12-year-old grandson. Beneficiary planning. I just took a look at this a little bit on some of my day job paperwork, because I want to make sure that the beneficiaries match the will uh, information and all of that I'm kind of going through. And teaching financial literacy at a young age is always key, because again, it's important for our children to know that the money just does not grow on trees. And I think
Amen to that.
I
They
think
don't understand it.
they don't understand it because we weren't really taught that. You know, I've learned this. My father was an entrepreneur. He was the first entrepreneur I ever knew, and he had an auto body mechanic shop. And I just know dad used to work on cars. He make money, but then he wouldn't make money. And I didn't understand that at that time because I was too young. But now as I'm older, I understand that he had contracts, and then he had a period of time where there was no business coming in because it was slow. And so those were the times when I'm sure that he had some kind of savings or something, or my mother had something where we can get by, because we didn't feel that. But I know now, looking back, that that was a period of time where, he had it and then he didn't have it. So we want to make sure that we always have it, and sometimes we don't. So before I
Well,
answer,
they say that compounding interest is the eighth wonder of the world. So we're going to take advantage of that.
we are going to take advantage of that. Does anyone have any questions before I ask Sarah another question? Okay. All right. So we're going to keep moving. So, what are three practical money habits we can implement immediately to improve our credit, reduce financial stress, and strengthen our financial future? And financial stress is a real thing. It is. Not knowing where it's going to come from, how you're going to pay your bills, and all that is financial stress, and it can actually make you sick. So, what are three practical money habits we can implement immediately?
Well, you can start today, right? Automate your finances. What does that mean? Automatically pay bills and automatically invest. This removes the stress and builds consistency. So, like some people, if let's say electric bill, and you don't want it to come up because you got other things ready, you want to push it off for tomorrow, you could juggle, and that may be the case based on your. But you got to get into the habit where it's automated, so that's removed from you. It's coming out, and you're going to figure out what to do with what you have left. Let these things be automated, because juggling numbers and finances is a stress. Automate as much as you can. The next thing is use the 2020 rule. Every debt payment. 20% goes towards reducing your principal faster, and then 20% goes towards investing or savings. No matter how much the amount is, no matter how small it is, so big or small, use the 2020 rule. So 20% goes towards reducing the principal faster, and 20% goes towards investing or savings. This builds the habit of saving while eliminating debt. Because sometimes we figure, oh, I got to pay off all these bills, which is important. We need to pay it off. But in so paying off, you still got to save something in the process. You have to juggle multiple plates. And finding the medium as to how much you put off versus how much you invest can be, it can be a challenge. So we just come up with the rule 20%, 20%, 20% towards the principal, 20%, because you got to still pay yourself first. That is part of paying yourself first, that investing, that is key. And the third step is the debt-free lifestyle budgeting. What does that mean? Don't scale your lifestyle every time you get an income increase. Man, you got that $20,000 bonus or whatever, 5% raise, and you got $20,000. Oh, I'm gonna buy that new car. Oh, we typically scale to spend as much as we make. But the strategy is to do the opposite. Try and maintain what you have or reduce it with that money so that it really can grow, compound, and you have savings accumulated. Don't take that increased salary and scale to, oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to bigger house. No. Don't scale your lifestyle every time income increases. Increase savings rate first. Pay yourself first. Pay yourself first. Increase your savings first, right? And bonus habits, a 30-day spending pause rule, right? Keep credit utilization below 30% and reduce your review your credit report quarterly to see how things are going, right? This is not an overnight thing, but once you understand the numbers from the first point, you understand what that number looks like, a 20%, 30%, then you start factoring these different strategies into your reality.
Oh, wow. Financial freedom and literacy is a full-time job. You just can't look at your accounts one day and say, oh, I don't have enough. You got to be strategizing on how you're going to have enough. So what do you recommend for maybe a person that, because this market has been just kind of crazy. Some people lost their jobs. Some people changed jobs. What do you recommend for someone that's starting out and they're not making a lot of money right at the moment because they're just starting a new job? What would be one tip that you would have for that person as they're building a budget? Because I write things down. I put everything on paper to say, what do I need to pay? And now I wrote myself on that paper as well. I'm at the top now, like, okay, me first, and then let me go down that list. But what do you recommend to people that have gone through some challenges or transitions, and now they're at the point where, okay, I have a new job. I may not be where I want to be, but I am going to have some type of strategy to get there.
Well, I think you start by the savings first, but look at another source of income. That's why I'm here to provide insight. There are other things out there, right? There are other things out there. We need multiple streams of income. So I would look into a way to start a business or invest my money. If I'm not into ownership and entrepreneurship, find a way where I can start have money work on my behalf, right? Because
Okay.
whoever hires you can fire you, and you find that we tend to define ourselves by our jobs, our titles and stuff. And these are great things. They've been accomplished. We've studied, we've worked, we've gotten these titles. But at the end of the day, what am I doing for me should an eventful happen, like what happened with the government shutdown, with the military's not getting paid, with being laid off? We're not controlling that. So my first step is to look at things, ways to invest your money, look at startups, look at Primerica, look at ways where you can have the lowest output to gain ownership to start growing your money. So those are the things I would focus on because you need to now create a source of generating extra income, right? The thing is, low income families, they use their money to pay debts and loans and so on. Middle income families use their money to buy houses, cars, and stuff, and that's a degree of wealth. But wealthy families create sources of generating more money. Their money is making babies to keep that source flowing. We need to get to those areas where we create a source of generating that ongoing income. So should the uneventful happen, layoffs, etc., government shutdown, that money is coming. So I would look at avenues in which we can not just invest our money, but have a startup, start a business that will create that source.
Wow. So let's talk about that a little bit. Exploring financial services as a career. So tell us about Primerica and how you can make money, invest money, and get to that financial freedom that we're talking about today, because I love a great income stream. The rule before was you should have 5. Who said you only need 5? Maybe you need 10. I don't know how many you need, but at the end of the day, what can Prime America offer all of us on this call today to help with another income stream, to help build that wealth and to get started on that pathway? Because again, you did mention low investment and it can yield a higher percentage back to you. So what does that look like?
Well, Primerica, I'll just give you high level. We are in the distribution business. We are distributors of financial products and services. So we throw a very wide net. We cover everything from mortgages. So if someone hasn't been, I'm going to go real estate, I'm going to do mortgages. We distribute for mortgage, to be quite honest, Quicken Loans and Rocket Mortgage. If someone wants to do identity protection, we offer those services as well. We also offer 401k plans. So should a company have at least 99 employees, we can set them up with 401k plan. Securities, that is a sweet tooth. That's generating millions. If they want to go into that space, we offer securities. Life insurance is a major component. That's how we were started, and everybody needs it. We're not making it out of this place alive, so everybody needs that. And then managed investments, we also do those. Vivint Home Security. So I just threw a wide net of products and service for whom we distribute because we are really in the distribution business, right? We're not really sales. Of course, there's a component of sales. You got to sell or move a product, but our business is in the distribution of financial products and services. But what's important though, we are federally regulated by the government. We are regulated by the federal government. So you have to pass a background check. And we are also regulated by the states, and in so doing, you need to become licensed. But Primerica provides the payment for the licenses. They cover all licenses, 4 of them, life insurance license, SIE licenses for securities, Series 6 and Series 63. They pay for those. And that's what got me all fired up because who's paying for education these days? So they invest, it's a few $1,000s based on the states to get folks fully licensed. The thing that we do differently, it's a low out of pocket to get started. Since they pay for the licenses and you need a background check, it typically costs like $99 for a background check and fingerprint. But because it's the month of December, everybody likes the deal. That fee has been dropped to $49. So literally you can start your own business with Primerica for $49. That covers your education. We have classes in person and classes online. They're ongoing and rolling. So let's say someone were to start this weekend. I'm guaranteed there's a class in your neighborhood on the environments in every state where you can hop in 2 nights a weekend or 2 weekends and be done with it, take the state test. So it's an ongoing rolling calendar. So it's designed for people with busy lives to, get the financial education and training. And we're in all of the 50 states. United States, Puerto Rico, and Canada. Currently, I have businesses in 11 states, and I'm working on Canada. And our goal is for folks to just dominate the North America. The other thing we do that's differently, the training is second to none. The environment is amazing. You place with in environments where folks are doing it, building it, being successful, and if it ain't fun, we're done, right? We do travel and so on, but we also produce the most 6 and 7-figure income earners than any other company in the country, where we are 169 millionaires to date. The other thing that's captivating to me that made such a difference is the fact that we don't not only produce the most 6 and 7-figure income earners, but we produce the most who are brown and black. Because a lot of times you find these companies that produce but they don't look like us. The vast majority or a huge majority of folks look like me and you. And to me, sometimes it's hard to seize it if you can't see it, right? So seeing people make that kind of money in our space and giving us the training, that is amazing. We also are the #1 place for women to work. We were voted the #1 place for women to work. Women do extremely well in Primerica. #1 in 2019, 2021, and 2020, the COVID years. So all these things are what made me gravitate towards Primerica, and the low startup cost, the phenomenal training, the fact that we're regulated by the government, so you're protected. You find a lot of startup companies. Everything works if you put in the time, but how long has it been? What is their track record? We've been in business since 1977, and we're not going anywhere. We're publicly traded on Wall Street. If you know anything about Wall Street, of all the millions and millions of companies that exist today, only 2,400 are allowed to trade on there. So our stocks are doing well. Vanguard is one of our main, they invest the vast majority of our shares. So when you look at these credibility stamps, that is why I'd say we offer something that's great, second to none. And we also have quite a bit of fun. And the folks look like us. So that's my high level overview of and the other thing I'd like to do, we talk about we go into the training of how your money works for you, the rule of 72, and I could share that before if we're getting close to time. But how it works, how our investment model works, because what is unique about Primerica? You can start low. We say invest, by the term invest the difference. Well, what does that mean? Invest the difference. You can start investing with us with as little as $25. And that's what sets us apart. $25. And you may laugh, but all my family has it. My son, he's an adult. My daughter, she's 14. My husband, we all have it. Why? Because it's a low entry point into that world of investing. Most people, most companies, if you said, I'm going to invest, man, you need at least $500,000. You can't wake up today and say, I'm going to go Wall Street and invest. You need a whole lot of zeros behind that $25 because they won't even talk to you unless you have 250,000, 50,000, 100,000. How many middle Americas do you know who have that capital to invest? Not a lot. And that's where we come in because we're licensed and brokers. The same companies that require you to have all those zeros, you start with us with $25. And so we get you the insurance, the protection, but then we invest the change that you have, and that compounds over time. So that's what that's why we've targeted the middle America to give them the same advantages that other wealthy Americans have.
Okay,
So when you're doing this investment, are you investing in the low
conservative or versus that what you want?
versus that the high conservative one?
Well, it depends on what you want. So when you sit down with the planner, you guys decide based on their advice and based on what you want to do and how old you are and how aggressive you want to go. And we typically recommend a combination of three, a conservative, something that's going over time, and blended. But that is something that will be worked out with the investor. It's not something we dictate to you, right? And we factored based on how far you are in your retirement planning, how much money you have available, and how fast you want to do it, whatever. You find as you get older, the more aggressive works because, you're behind so that's a conversation that's customized based on need, not based on what we dictate.
So the best way, investing through you versus a 401k.
Say that again.
Investing is it the same as far as when you invest in a 401k, or versus investing into with Primerica, or do you do both?
We offer 401k for companies that have X amount, so we offer both 401ks. But if you're talking about your own personal, we also do mutual funds. So that would be based on your specific need, and if it's an individual, it would be like a mutual fund.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So when you say, are we doing questions? I'm sorry.
Oh, no, girl, you already know this is the hangout. Just ask all the questions. That's what we want you to do.
So
and
when
you also do an IRA. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. So when you talked about the 2020 rule and you say the word invest and principal, what are we talking about as far as when you say invest and principal? Towards like in your mortgage, when you're paying your mortgage, you should pay on your principal, or investing what should we be investing in besides paying ourselves? But when you say invest,
you will invest in like a mutual fund, or you will invest you'd have rolled over your IRA, etc. So when we talk about investing, we talk about something separate, right? So you're paying 21% to what you owe, but then you still should put that 20% towards something that's growing independently for yourself.
Okay, because I do have a IRA account, so I should be putting money instead of taking money out. I should be putting money in.
Yes, sir.
Right.
Yes,
Right.
yes, ma'am.
I'm just saying. But that's the invest you're talking about. Okay, so I have a clear picture. And then the automatic bill pay, I thought was interesting because that's how I have my credit card set up. I don't have to worry about paying my credit cards because I have that automatically coming out. I'm working on now trying to get that done with my mortgage. The same.
Yeah.
I'm just they can take it out every 2 weeks, half of the mortgage, and I don't have to worry about paying that. Um,
That is where you need to get. That's impressive. Good job for that.
yeah,
It
that's
takes
my
the
next
stress
deal.
away from you. You know what I
It
mean?
does. It does. It does. And it helps your credit too because you ain't got to worry about paying it. I mean, I could probably add more on to what I'm paying, but right now
Mhm.
it seems to be working.
Right.
So that was a good advice about the automatic bill pay, like that part.
Yeah. Yeah. I need to do that with my phone bill. It's like with T-Mobile, they just they cut you off if you don't. I'm like, wait a minute. It's only 5 minutes. I owe it right now. I know, but darn it, they don't play around. But they cut you right back on as soon as you
Yes,
My
they do.
make
my
Been
phone
the,
bill
there.
the,
don't
the
worry.
Been
line
there,
goes through.
guys. Been there like, wait a minute. I'm
Wait
in
a
the
minute.
meeting. Oh, you gotta put in
Exactly.
within half an hour, 10, 15 minutes, it's back on. You're like, okay, I didn't see that. So even I have to straighten up at times. I'm perfect. I'm working on it. So some of these rules, it's some training, paradigm shifting, and just developing the discipline. But the good thing is that you know it. So to know is to do. So when it happens, like I should have done this, so you get course correct. So it's for everybody. It
It
works
is.
out.
It's crazy because we're being, I don't know, we pay a cable bill. Back then we just paid a telephone bill. That was it. We paid Bell telephone for a regular telephone. Now we got a cell phone that's $200 and something, and you got a cable bill because now you got to pay to watch TV where you just
Isn't that something? Oh my
you just had
God.
you just brought an antenna and watch channel 6, 7, what 610 and
Or
whatever.
what you call it, the hanger.
The
The
Turn
hang
hang
it like that,
right,
turn it
right,
this way and you got the channels. Hey,
Yes.
different
But
times now.
but times are different now, and so we got to adjust because I do feel like we
right.
are
You got to
behind.
right.
So I want to ask for folks to put in the chat if you would like to meet with Sarah or have Sarah do another session because we can always do that. Because I'm going to be doing a session with Sarah to talk about life insurance and in some investing. I do some investing now, but I want to take that $25 extra that I may have now since I paid off that bill and invest it in something different. So if you want more information from Sarah, put your information in the chat so that we can share that with her. Sometimes this kind of conversation is intimidating because we all feel like, oh, I'm not there. I don't really have it. So, how do we break down those barriers so that we don't feel that way? So that it's easy to say, okay, Sarah, this is where I'm at, and I need a strategic plan on what I need to be doing because at the end of the day, they're not telling us this information. We have to seek out professionals like yourself to get this information.
Well, I said it in the last comment, even me, sometimes it get clicks. Oh my God. So we're not perfect. We put the rules out there and we are bound to follow them as we should, but we're not perfect, so it happens. The thing is, nobody wants to talk about debt. Nobody wants to talk about investments. Nobody wants to talk about sometimes Primerica because I knew somebody who did it, or nobody wants to talk about life insurance. Life insurance is kind of morbid. It is morbid. It means you're not here, right? But like I said, we're not making it out here alive. So it's a natural part of life. And we've seen what happened during especially in the wake of COVID, where folks are, GoFundMe here, GoFundMe there, and, they get $2,000. But when we talk in terms of life insurance, we talk about not final expenses. I don't care about final expenses. To me, that's garbage. We talk about income replacement. Income replacement is different than than final expenses. We don't talk about final expenses because once we go from here into yonder, we hope it's a very, very, very long time from now. But when we go from here, we are leaving behind legacy. We're leaving behind children, families, whatever, right? How are they going to eat the next day? How are they going to keep their roofs over their heads? If they decide to go to college, where's that money coming from? So these are the things we talk about. So when we talk in terms of life insurance, we talk about income replacement, and everybody needs that, right? We can't be selfish. They say in the Bible, leaving an inheritance for your children's children, etc. So we want to live by those rules. It just makes sense. Even if it's not biblical, it makes sense, right? We brought them in here. Let's find a way to make life better. So life insurance, everybody needs. Debt. Everybody in this great USA, you hear my accent. I'm from the Caribbean initially. We all have debt. What it's a mortgage, and unless you're independently
Margaret,
wealthy, you have to create credit. You have to stop. They won't give, unless you can get the house. So credit and income, that's a natural part of it, right? So everybody's in some level of debt. If you don't have it, you're forced to create it. So it's good. Nobody wants to talk about how much they, how much they don't. But your debt education, you're not alone. We all have it. Let's work on strategies to manage it or eliminate it. So if you're not feeling I'm not there, you're not unique, it's everybody. So join the team. The other thing about investments, well, a lot of people don't like to talk about investment because when they hear investment, they immediately think, oh my God, I need to have thousands. But with Primerica, like I said, invest the difference, $25.
they think about
Everybody can have $25, right? You skip two or three Starbucks coffees, you got $25.
Well, listen, I have a challenge
Yes.
for the people that are on the call today. I see Joy, I see Eloise, I see Eunice. I'm gonna get it right. I'm gonna get it right. I see Tammy and I see myself. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people. That's $100, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
I will take $100 and invest in all of you $25 each for you to make your first investment.
Wow.
All you got to do is get with Sarah and we will figure that out. I'll make sure she gets that. I'm going to invest my $25 as well. And I will invest in each of you that $100, that's $25 that I know that I can use to help all of you that are
So,
on this call.
so a question
Wow, thank you.
is this a
You're
question?
welcome.
A question, is this a one-time investment or can we still continue to invest, or how does that
This
work?
is to get you started. This is the $25 that Sarah's going to show me
No,
and
I
tell me
know that,
whatever I need to do.
right. So all I'm asking Sarah is do we continue to invest, or that $25 is the initial thing, we leave it and let it grow?
It will be monthly. It'll come out monthly. The investment should be paid because remember you're compounding. So you want to make sure you keep putting money there so it increases the compound ability, right? So she starts you up with 25, and the next month will be you put in the 25. We'll set up the account so it comes out automatically, automate the process.
So now, going back for investing in my IRA account, right?
Mhm.
Will the bank automatically do that transfer? Because then it depended on me to every month decide to transfer it over. I would
No, that's
like,
going to be an automatic process. That's an automatic process. Once it's set up and you tag it to whatever account you want it removed from, it comes out automatically because we got to practice what we preach. We got to tell you automated, then ask you
Yeah.
to go put that money. It's not going to work.
Right. And I want my investment into you guys to work. And, I'm doing this with you guys. So I want you to, if you want it, I want you to be able to take the 25, let's invest it, and then automate it so that it can compound and grow.
right.
How's
So
that sound?
I got tons of questions. So you said something about income replacement.
Mhm.
Talk a little bit more about that. I know you said life insurance and all that. Once you hear you're gone, you leave whatever you leave. But what do you mean by income replacement?
So income replacement basically is the death benefit that comes when you go, right? And we say income replacement because a lot of times if you see these things on TV, they talk about 20,000, 40,000, whatever. But the average funeral expense is between $10,000 and $20,000. If you had a 40,000 life insurance policy or 20,000, how are they going to live the next day? Once they bury you, it's over. So we set you up so that the families can live the same or better lifestyle once you're gone. It'll be we do something called the dime. We look at your debt, your income, mortgage, college, whatever. We factor in all those debts and liabilities that you have so that the monies that you accrue or that the beneficiaries get covers all of that, or at least contribute significantly towards that. So they don't have to, they don't have to lose their home because, to be honest, the stat, and this kind of blew me out. The stats are, it's kind of astounding. If the income earner goes before the age of 40, I mean, before the age of 50, within 3 months, the survivors will lose that home. Within 12 months, sorry. Within 12 months, the survivors will lose that home 85% of the time. There was no income replacement. So when we talk about that, we figure out what's going to be required for folks to hold on to or to live the same or better lifestyle because you're no longer there generating that income with a job or whatever it is you were using to keep going. So income replacement is most important, not final expensive. We make sure what you leave behind is enabled to pay off the debts, loans, or at least continue life for them in a real way.
All right.
This is wonderful. This is why financial literacy should be taught in school, more so than trigonometry, because what they need that for, right? But I'm just saying, financial literacy should be
That's why
taught.
we're here.
If we were taught this, I remember coming up, they made us to open up an account at PSF, whatever that first bank was on Market Street. If those that live here in Philly, we opened up a bank account. It took us down and we did that, but then they stopped. If we got more of this in school, then we would have a better understanding of how to be financial.
I'm going to share my screen really quickly, Shari.
Okay.
Because she's saying something that I want you guys to physically see, right? Let me know when you can see.
We can see.
All right. So this is something that we do. When I talk about invest the difference, let me make this presentable and put it down here. We talk about the rule of 72, right? Now, when you said open up a bank account, that's all well and good. But we don't really promote banks because maybe I shouldn't say that, but we find banks kind of like ripping us off, right? I don't want to say because it's being recorded, but because we all need banks, yes, in some capacity. But this is what banks do, right? Banks, well, let me explain the rule of 72 first. The rule of 72 states, tells us exactly how long it's going to take for our monies to double. The rule states in order to determine how long it's going to take for our money to double, you would divide the interest rate at which you've invested the money into 72, and it tells you how many years it's going to take for that money to double. This is based off Albert Einstein's principle of compounding and doubling. So how long is my money going to take to double? Based on the rate at which it's invested, the ROI, I would divide that into 72 and it tells me the number of years. So here's my example. Let's say you're 20 years old and you had $2,000. Your parents threw a party for college and you got some money. Say, Mom, I'm going to invest my money and prepare for retirement. Based on the rule, 3 goes into 72 24 times. So every 24 years, your money is going to double, right? Because it's at 3%. 3 into 72, 24. Over your 48 years of work life history or work adult life, you have 2 doubling cycles, right? So when you're ready to retire, you got 8,000. It did something, not a lot, but it still grew, right? That same amount of money at 6%. 6 goes into 72 12 times. Every 12 years, your money is doubling, right? You have a few more doubling cycles. You have 32,000, right? Can retire off of that, but it still grew. But this is the difference. At 12%, 12 goes into 72 6 times. Every 6 years, your money is doubling. Look at what happens when you're ready to retire. So a lot of us are behind the 8 ball. We haven't started this, but it's not too late for your children. It's not too late for you. Just put in a little bit more money. But anyway, this is just an example, but this is how it works, right? Now, if you didn't know the difference between the 3, 6, and 12, you'd probably be happy with the 3 and the 6. But this is the difference maker, right? No one, and the thing is, most banks, Joy, most banks are not even giving you anywhere near this. This is what's my decider. Most banks are giving us 0.5% or 1/3%. I think some banks are giving you 1%. Let's do the applause. But at 1%, one goes in a 72 times. It's going to take your money at a 1% rate of return, 72 years to double. Now, how many 72-year life cycles do you have? Right? And this was my decider slide because I thought I was making the big bucks. I got my big corporate job. I'm rolling it, but my money was not doing this. It wasn't doing nearly as this. And I challenge everyone who has a savings account to see if your money is doing any of this. This is the difference maker. We said don't put your monies in the banks. Put your money where the bank puts its own damn money. Because most banks are doing this and giving us a 1% or a third of a percent. The thing is, if you are having a 0.5%, that's 144 years for your money to double. Now, how many of you live into 144? I mean, I might be the first one. I don't know. This is what we do. So how do we become significant? We say get the low level cost life insurance and invest the difference. And what does that mean? The $25. You invest the $25 to get this, to get the 12%. Our rate of return in our investments is on average between 10 and 12%. So you're going to have a lot more doubling cycles. And this is the difference maker. And why is a difference maker? Because most people don't have this $500,000 to just invest on their own. So that $25 that Sherry's starting up with, and you can add to it whatever, it gets you a foot up, a leg up into investing to get 10 to 12% rate of return. And that is what. So they put you in a bank, which is good, but the bank is going to do this and give you back what you have in your savings account. That is what they don't tell you. And that's the difference maker.
Yeah, that's something.
That is really something.
That's what I'm saying about the knowledge of knowing just how the banks work or where your money is. Or if people even got enough to let it save in there to even collect any interest on it. So.
And before we wrap, I am going to sponsor one person or two persons who decide to move forward with the business, right? Because it's worth it. It's $99 for your background check and fingerprint, and the rest is history. You have a $25 recurring for the virtual office, but this month, so I can match Shari with $100 because this month is $49 to get your background check and fingerprint to start your own business. I will sponsor at least two people who show an interest to get them started because this is a cash flow quadrant. There are only 4 ways to make money. You either an employee. As an employee, it's income-based, it's a job. And no matter how great you are, sweet, how kind, your income is based on your position. There is a glass ceiling because you can't make more money than your manager. You might have a class action if you out earn her or him. The income is fixed. You get that same salary week in or bi-monthly or whatever, week in, week out. And your boss literally controls your lifestyle because their thumb is on your throat. Right? Because you still have, well, I got to take off for Thanksgiving. Can I get the time off? Well, let me see if we have coverage. So you still have to ask for that permission. You cannot take off and do whatever you want. And the other thing is that they determine how long you can go on vacation, how often, what food you can eat, etc. Because they control that income flow. The other thing to do, the other way to make money is self-employed. No, you don't have a job now, but you own the job. And like a job, you still have to show up. So the flexibility is limited. You are putting in your hours for dollars. You have to show up. On the right side of the equation, as a business owner, you own a system. A system has other people working with them. The income potential is unlimited through network marketing, franchises, and etc. So it's like the McDonald's model, right? It's better to have 1% of 100 people than 100% of you. And why is that significant? We want to have financial independence, debt free, but if we constantly train our hours for dollars, when do we get to treat ourselves? When do we get to go on vacation? If once we're on vacation, that income goes down to zero. So the importance of building that network, that 1% of 100, so that time and the money continues to compound whether or not we're involved. See, if you're 100% of one, you're right there at the dollar transaction. But because of the team building, because of the distribution that we build, the further you are away from that dollar transaction, the more money you make because we have something that's called overrides. That's really when you have the freedom because you're not working for that. It's coming because of how we've compounded, how we've built. That's the significance because we are in the distribution building. That's how a business works, right? distribution. And the last way to make money is an investor. Remember I said, listen to this. Once that clock is ticking and you're $25 in there, as long as it's in there, it's growing. And we can't control the time. Time's going to go, like Bob Marley said it. None of us can stop the time. So we said the compounding of these two things, the business owner and the investor, is where you have the total freedom. And that's our business model. Getting folks from the left side of the quadrant to the right side where you can leverage the distribution capabilities. You will be in business for yourself, then not by yourself. You'll be trained. And, it's a roadmap to really live in that true financial freedom and passing it on to the next generation.
I love this conversation. Does anyone else have any questions? Because it's a lot of information. We have to have Sarah come back because, again, it's just a lot. Now, recently, I just had all of my 1099 contractors. We did all of their background checks and FBI clearances and all of that because of the projects that we are on working with students. We had to have that coverage. So about 10 of my contractors just recently got all of that and their CPR training as well. So we're on the road already to that part because we already have that. And when they do the background checks, what are they actually looking for? Because some people, what if someone had something from years and years, 20, 30 years ago? And what exactly are they looking for if someone was ready to take on this type of opportunity and they're not going to be discouraged because they're worried about something that happened previously?
So the thing is, there are many ways to skin a cat. If it's a felony, depending on how long ago it was, I think it might be expunged. But there is a process when we go through it. You just be open and honest, and you may write a letter. You may have to produce documents. I had someone who had a situation, and she was able to get her license, get appointed because she provided the evidence that whatever time she spent or whatever. So we go by the law. You can explain the cases and provide your evidence, and chances are you will be able to proceed forward, depending on the nature of the crime and how old it is, etc. But I've met so many professional men, Black men, who've had records. And the thing is so heart-wrenching because that's one way to keep us out of this industry, right? But man, you have a spouse, you have a daughter, you have a son. If you have the people, the bodies, the knowledge, why can't you partner with someone? So there are many ways to skin a cat, not because you have a record or whatever. You're not that same person, right? Why keep yourself out of the game? Work with a partner, get someone who's interested, and you could partner with that person if you do the legwork, whatever. So I don't use anything to stop them from benefiting in this initiative. If, let's say, you aren't able to move forward, you know somebody.
That's right. That's right. And I wanted you to say that because at the end of the day, we've all done things in our past, whatever. And now we are in this new season of life and we are just trying to make sure that we can, we're not going to get out alive, like you said, but we can live a good life. And that's what we're trying to do. Mm-hmm. So if we don't have any last questions, drop your information into the chat. Tammy, drop those pictures into the chat because Sarah loves to shop.
Yes, she does. and I'll be putting out to my girls in NCBW.
Yes. And I hope everything was someone's joining so late. No.
You know what? That's my classmate. He's in a different time zone. He didn't think about it.
And we're gonna wrap up here, but we want you to come back, Sarah. You are a part. Sarah is a new Woman Up Initiatives member, so we're going to be featuring her in the newsletter. And she'll be sharing some more financial information. I would ask you to share some tips with us in our newsletter on financial literacy. That could be your little section, because at the end of the day, I want to hear it from the experts. And we do send out this newsletter to about 1,000 people that are on our mailing list. So people do get the newsletter. They read what's happening. If you're not signed up for our newsletter, just drop your email into the chat and I'll put you on the list and you'll get the newsletter and you'll say, oh, this is what they're doing, and you'll want to be a part of it, and that is what we want. So Tammy, drop those photos. I don't have a hand. I'm not in my closet today, you guys, because when we're talking about fashion and other that stuff, I'm in the closet, but I'm in the office because it's a financial conversation, and I don't want people looking at shoes. I want them to be focused on, how we can all grow together and move forward together. Enos, I hope you join us. Just keep showing up and let us wrap our arms around you and see how we can help you grow and to help you find what it is you're looking for in your next season, because laid off or whatever it is, it's just a pause on that, and it opens up more doors for other opportunities. So we're happy that you're here today. Let me see what Tammy put in the chat. Okay, that's cute. And it has fur on it, Tammy. Tammy does all kinds of, if the Eagles is not your team, that's okay. She can do other teams as well. But is that a hat with fur on it?
Oh, that's cute.
Oh, isn't that cute? Ooh, Tam.
God.
I'm gonna have to see this.
Oh wow, I like the purple.
Okay. Yes.
Yes, this is my new hat line.
Okay, I love
Excuse
that.
me.
Yes.
Awesome.
Okay, I love that.
Eunice, I know a few people who love that. The Eagles
Okay,
fan.
so there you go. So you guys check with those people to see if they want something custom, because again, these are custom pieces. You're not going to find them in the store. You're going to find them at Sperry Wild Boutique.
Hey, Sherry, can I interrupt for a second? I want to say a special hello to my classmate, Theo. I'm sorry, Theo. It was at Eastern Standard Time. He's actually dialing from Trinidad. So if we can just say, he can say something to the team, say hello.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
I think that the time zone kind of got a few people.
Well, introduce yourself. And Angela just joined as well. Angela is she's a salon owner. Angela, we're gonna need to do something with my hair, girl, this ponytail. But please introduce yourself, Mr. Joseph.
Hi, good morning. Are you hearing me?
Okay. Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. All right. So calling from Trinidad. I am a good friend and classmate of Sarah. We went to school together, and we stay close. As a matter of fact, Sarah's brother and me are real good buddies and comrades in the OWTU. So I thought I missed it because I came back from an outing from some little chores, and I thought I missed it, but I came in just in time. So I'm excited.
Yeah, you missed it because I forgot we were an hour ahead of you.
All right. So
sorry.
But that's okay. We're still glad that you showed up, and now we have a new friend from Trinidad. So whenever we come that way, we'll be calling you.
No problem. Okay, all the best, Sarah.
Thank you. Thanks for joining.
Okay, Angela, real quick, you want to introduce yourself?
Yes. Hi, my name is Angela Tyler. I'm the owner of Nature's Hair Food, as well as a hair salon, A New Roman Era. I'm located at 6145 Vine Street, and I'm a hairstylist. I've been a hairstylist for over 30 years, and I make hair products as well. Yeah. And soon to come, podcasting and event space.
Absolutely. Sarah has a great space, and the hair food is wonderful. And she does my hair from time to time. I just need to be a little bit more consistent. Like, I will be calling you afterward.
Okay.
What's your product line again? What's the name of it?
A New Roman Era, as well as my hair product is Nature's Hair Food.
Nice.
I'm located at 6145 Vine Street.
Nice.
Vine, yes.
Yes, absolutely. So does anyone have anything else for today? I know we went over time, but hey, we're hanging out, so we're allowed to do whatever we want. Anyone else have any last things they want to say? Okay, so we'll hear from Sarah. Sarah, we appreciate all the information that you shared with us this morning. I'm super excited. Whoever wants that $25 investment that I promised for those folks that were on. I will definitely do that. I'm going to invest my $25 as well. And we can figure out how we can all grow together. So, Sarah, give us your last parting words. It's not going to be the last words ever, but the last parting words for this segment.
Well, thanks again, Sherry, for scheduling this call and for allowing me to partner with you and your network. I'm very passionate about what I do. Like Sherry said, there's a lot to go around, right? There's a lot to go around. So each one teach one. My last words in this call will be start small, but start nonetheless, right? You will be in business for yourself, but not by yourself. We do have incredible training. We have fun, but we change lives every day, including our own. So don't be embarrassed. Don't be shy. Just be bold with putting yourself first and leverage some of those tips and tricks. Start small, but start today is what I have to say.
Ooh, I love that. Start small, but start today. I love that because at the end of the day, if we are not uh, learning from experts like yourself, we don't have that encouragement. I mean, we're all here to learn. We're all here to grow. We're all here to encourage each other. So please make sure you visit Spirit Wild Boutique. She put some photos in here. Oh, Tammy, that Gucci hat is cute. Put some stuff in here for you guys to see. Put the website so they can grab that as well. And you will see this again because we usually put it on our YouTube channel and on the website. So it is something that people can come back to and see, and we can share with others. And for the latecomers, we are still happy that you came today. Maybe we need to come on down to Trinidad. I don't know, but
it'll be a good time.
A good time. We always love a good time. We have a good travel group, and this information will go out. And Sarah, we will be featuring you in the newsletter, so I'll be in contact with you about that as well. And this has been a great segment. I really appreciate it, and thank all of you for joining us today. And continue to be great.
Thank you, Sherry. Right. We're the team here. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Yes. So until next time, see you next time.
See you, Sherry. I'll call you after.
Okay.
Take care, everyone. Thank you.
This was wonderful, Sarah. Thank you, Sherry. Everybody have a great holiday season. Be safe.
Thank you. You as well.
Take care.
Bye-bye, ladies.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.